Here we go. Hello, and welcome to Easing Stress and Emotions with your host, Dr. Bendover, where the doctor will teach you how to relax and calm your nerves. So now, bend over. Hello, everyone. Here to talk to you about the little things you can do in your life to make things happen a little better, a little easier for you. One of those things is closing your legs and tightening your vagina.
Broadcasting live from high atop Stonehead Peak in the Blue Mountain Range, overlooking gorgeous downtown Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, it's the Jeff and Dan Show! Oh, thank God. It's Wednesday. It's 7 o'clock. It's time for the Jeff and Dan Show. Watch where you're going, you moron! It's Wednesday, 7 o'clock. We're going to go on a little road trip for you tonight. It's road trip week here on the Jeff and Dan Show. Good God! Anyways, we're going to gas up. We're going to get some cigarettes and some drinks. And we're leaving Dillsburg tonight, 7 o'clock. Here we go. And possibly some snacks, too. Ladies and gentlemen, sitting over there behind the wheel is my co-host for tonight for the Jeff and Dan Show. Wow, these drivers are terrible around here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Jeff. How are you, sir?
Not too bad, sir. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I decided tonight maybe to do road trip because in the Pennsylvania State House right now, the H.R. Bill FU2, they're trying to define what is a road trip and what is just a run. Like, the state legislator wants to say, you're on a road trip, so you have to pay the necessary road trip taxes. But if you're just on a run, then like just a beer run, then you won't get charged the taxes. But if you're on a sheets run or any other kind of food run, you won't get charged taxes. But if you're on a road trip and you call it a road trip and you say you're on a road trip on Facebook, on Twitter, on your 1040, on your 1041 and your 1042, you will be levied taxes.
Wow.
So
that sucks.
Yeah, well, you know, they need a way to get it all, man. They need a way to get it all.
And they need a way to get it on.
You go on road trips, Jeff?
I do. Occasionally I do.
What's your most memorable? Wow.
Probably the one where I had to drive Pat down to West Virginia to pick up his girlfriend.
I heard that was memorable.
Yes, it was very memorable because in the process of getting down there through all the hills and valleys and S-curves of lower Western Virginia, not West Virginia, but Western Virginia, down in the Gap area, it was crap. And at that point when we got there, the clutch went out in the car. With little experience in taking clutches out and putting them back in, and then the middle of the night after we had just picked up the young lady, heading on our way back up, and as it turns out, I had burned the clutch completely out, and I had first gear. So I had to drive all the way home about 400 or 500 miles in first gear. Yeah. Needless to say, it sucked.
You couldn't shift it.
Could not shift. I mean, it would shift in a gear, it just wouldn't stay. Like, you'd go to hit the gas after you shifted it into gear, and it would just go... But you put it in first gear, and you're able to drive. And, it's like, and it all started right as I was going up a mountain, and I had it in fifth gear. Okay? And the fifth gear just died.
What were you in?
Chevette.
Oh.
Yeah.
An orange one?
Yeah.
Okay.
An orange one. And, process, man. Going up that hill, man, burned that fucking clutch out completely. And then, ever since that point, after that point, it was like, okay, I burned out 5. Oh, shit, I burned out 4. Oh, shit, I burned out 3. I don't think I'm going to be able to get out of 2. Oh, I can get it out of 2. Oh, that was the other thing, too. I couldn't get it out of third gear at one point. It was almost like it had melted together and was like trying to pull it out of third gear and it wouldn't let me. because it had locked it in, apparently. I don't know, some weird shit.
You had passengers?
Yes. Yeah, well, I had Pat as a passenger, and then on the way back, I had Pat and his girlfriend making out in the back seat. They didn't mind the fucking 22-hour trip. Why would they? You know. So that is probably the most memorable experience, because when I got back, I got an earful, and man, it was just horrible.
Well, from who? Oh yeah,
from the owner of the vehicle. Yes, her name shall not be mentioned.
That had 5 gears?
I believe so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Gentlemen, we just lost 4th gear. No, we just lost 3rd gear.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd please fasten your seatbelt, put your trays in the upright position. Yeah, exactly. And it was most. What was your most memorable?
Actually, the most memorable was when you, me, Christy, your Christy, what's her cousin's name? Formaldehyde. Carissa. I just could not think of her name.
Yeah.
And there was 2 more. Pat and who else? AJ. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes. Yeah, that's the time we all went to Ocean City.
Yes.
Maryland.
Yep, 6 people in a 4-person car.
I remember that night well. I was smoking and toking at some young lady's house that evening. And I left her house and was on my way back home, and I pull in the door. Dan, you're coming with us. You're just in time. Oh, where are we going? We're going on a food run? Yeah, to Ocean City.
Yeah, awesome food run, man.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whose bright idea was that?
I believe that was mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was, because that was the day before my birthday.
Oh,
and
wow.
It just so happens that Pat was like, "Here, man, here's the rent money." And at this point, I was already like a month and a half late in rent, so I was just like, "Okay, cool, let's go to Ocean City." I'm like, "Yeah, fucking hey, man.
We're already on our way out, man.
Yeah,
don't give them any money."
Exactly. All you're doing is throwing that cash away now, shit. You know, so.
Yeah, and I took them. Well, remember we stopped on the way home at some kind of department store. I don't know why. We stopped at some kind of department store. Some kind of department store, and I had to shit. And I must have been in that bathroom 20 minutes. I'm still sorry to this day, but I really had to go, man.
Oh, man. Yeah. Their sink will never be the same.
Their sink? Hell, it was their lunchroom.
Red Solo cups can only hold certain amounts of poo until, you have to get rid of that one and get another one in there. So yeah, man, that was a good trip. I've had a lot of memorable trips, actually. That one, the one I mentioned, was just because it was so bad. You know what I mean? It was like horrible.
Yeah, well, there's bad road trips.
Yeah, there really are.
Bad road trips.
And usually the ones where you're like pissed off at people, or pissed off at the world, or pissed off at the people in your car, then yeah, it's like a shitty road trip at that point,
Yeah. So. I made one little odd thing. We lived so close to Gettysburg.
Yeah.
And I hated going to Gettysburg.
Yeah.
And I just avoided Gettysburg.
As much as possible.
Always made fun of the effing tourists in Gettysburg. If it wasn't for the damn Civil War, Gettysburg would just be a one-horse town.
Exactly.
But, as fate would have it, I grew up and moved to the Harrisburg area. Now, on occasional weekends, me and my wife scoot down to Gettysburg.
Now it's not so much a touristy trap thingy. It's more of a, hey, let's visit it and see what they found out. What they've got.
It's kind of our romantic kind of getaway thing. Christy really isn't much of a ghost hunter, per se.
Right.
Although she likes adventure, she'll go along. But I don't think she would be the first person to say, let's go on a ghost tour.
Right.
And, yeah, I would love to go on a Gettysburg ghost tour.
Oh, yeah, I know people.
Do you?
Yeah, I know people that get you involved in that.
Well, we're going to have a Jeff and Dan ghost tour.
There we go. Let's do it, man, into Gettysburg. I was going to tell you, though, man, if you get a chance, you should probably at some point in time, if you and a wife want to take a little romantic getaway, go down to Emmitsburg, Maryland. Which is right across the border.
Yes. Oh, that town is very quaint.
Yeah.
Very quaint.
It's like the perfect little shopping. No, the absolute quaintest village or town that I have ever been in was named after a person that I can't fucking remember. Jim. No. what the hell was his name? Jim Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
Yes, Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. Dude, if you ever get a chance, go there. I promise you, you will enjoy the hell out of it.
Could you believe I've never been there?
Dude, I've been there like numerous times. It's beautiful, beautiful. It's like right on the river set. It's basically in a valley. And it's in this one crevice of the valley where this town is at. And it's just amazingly gorgeous. It's really, really beautiful.
What's this town known for?
Very picturesque. I don't even know. I can't even talk tonight. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. There's a train station there, and it used to be a pretty famous train station. And there are up on the hills, overlooking the town. Basically, the town's in this like a crevice in the side of a mountain. Basically, it's a one-road town. You just go straight up this road. It zigzags a little bit. And that's, you go up to the top and the dead ends at the top of the mountain. This
is the county seat of Carbon County, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Is this county that rural?
Yeah. Yeah, it really seems like it. When you get out there, it's really sparse. Everything's, mostly woods. Unlike Maine.
Where it's all woods.
Maine is like house, woods, house, woods, business, woods, house, woods. And then you get by. And every time you look at these places, they're setting back off the road like 50 yards. It's crazy. Like, that's the way Maine is. It's just laid out. I love it. Don't get me wrong. It's really, really cool. But, yeah, it's like that.
It's almost like those people up there just totally want to get away from any kind of humankind reminders.
Yeah, they want their division, their peace. They want their property. They don't want to have to fuck with anybody else, which is okay. That's cool. But Jim Thorpe, man, beautiful town. If you can picture like some of the most picturesque shops, like downtown Carlisle used to have a couple of very picturesque areas where you could go down and see stuff. And there's other little towns. Annville, which is up north from here.
Yeah, Annville's a quaint little town. It's
very quaint.
Bigger. Right. It's college town.
Yes.
Which I'm sure certain nights of the week it is a lot of fun.
Except for that one problem they were having. I don't remember what it was. Oh, yeah, some kid got kicked out of a bar or something. And he said he was being stereotyped, and the manager had said some negative stuff to him, and then like he got him in trouble. I don't know. Anyway,
I kind of heard it was bullshit.
Yeah, I think it was.
But
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, honestly, yeah, we're playing through the whole racist thing right now, and that's just really kind of shitty because there's a lot of people in this world who have views that are not really considered racist, but are definitely they're stern. You know what I mean? They're on those specific things. That's not racism. It's like, okay, you go to let's say you're going to put on a play and you have some people come in and they're going to try out, audition for the play for the roles. And let's say that, you find this one beautiful black girl who you think would be great for that role, and this other girl who tends to be white who just comes off as not being able to really kind of pull it off. You may pick the black girl, and other people are going to be like, oh, man, he's like fucking racist and shit. This is like, yeah, exactly. Or it could be the situation where you picked a white girl, and maybe the black girl was a bit better for it, but maybe she couldn't sing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So now you picked a white girl because you're a white director. Oh, shit, here it comes. This is a bad thing. Oh, my God, you've done the wrong thing. That's what I'm talking about, man. That stuff is getting pointed out every single day now. It's like, you're racist because you did this. No, you're not racist because you did this. You picked what you thought would be the best person for that role. There's no racism involved here. The girl, if it was really super racism, you would not have that young lady try out, the black woman. You would not have her try out. You would just say, oh, I'm sorry, the position's filled or whatever. So, I mean, it's like I said, it's becoming bad. And that's really kind of all teetering over because of this whole, monuments thing and everything. It's just getting really, really fucked up. So, yeah, now it's almost like if you even have a tinge of something, like, oh, man, I didn't give that black woman enough change and she still accepted it and I got my coffee. Oh, you're racist, you fuck, So, yeah, it's one of those deals. But anyway.
Well, anytime anybody accuses me of racism, I look them right in the eye and say, really? How can that be? My wife's black.
To which your wife comes out of the back room and says, no, I'm not.
She's half black.
There you go. I'm 2% black, so it's all good.
2%? Well, I'm like 2% milk is still
like milk. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Mm-hmm.
although milk's white. Anyway.
Chocolate is not.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It comes from chocolate
Racist.
cows.
So, have you ever been on a road trip by yourself?
Yes.
Yes? Where'd you go?
Atlantic City.
Okay.
That was that time that I told you about before where
Yeah.
I won like $400 in the first 2 minutes. Son of a bitch. Now I got to blow it all.
Is that the time you bought the Oriental hooker?
No. That was a different time. Yeah.
Different.
Yeah. Me Fun. That was her name. Me Fun. She was great. Me Fun.
Me fun.
She was a lot of fun. I came down with the crap. Oh, I'm a racist dick now. You see what I'm saying? That kind
Holy
of shit.
crap, your junk is falling off.
She gave me a case of crap. Yeah.
I once took this was like almost 2 years ago. I once took a road trip by myself. And I wanted to hit a lot of little towns in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And that's what. And I also wanted to hit some places that I was at once there, but I have. It's been years I've been. But I went back to them anyways. And one of the bad things I noticed is these small towns in Pennsylvania, the small ones that are surrounded by woods, if you know what I mean. I'm not talking like small town Hanover.
Right. No,
That can support itself.
really out there.
I'm talking Ridgeway. I'm talking Brockway.
Gotcha.
I'm talking
Stuff way
Cowanesque
out
Valley. Yes.
Not even on a main artery, if you will, like Route 15 or something like that. It's probably a setback off that.
Just a 2-lane road,
Gotcha.
like 194. Anyways, what I noticed is the whole town is 90% of the town is drab and dark and shut down,
Okay.
closed down. The only thing are open are a bar here and there or a laundromat.
Yeah.
But on either edge of the town, there's a bright, brand new, big, shiny red sheets in every single damn town.
I know.
It's like you just want to look, Emporium. Why don't you do your own thing? 'Cause I don't know what's so damn special about sheets. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know why it pulls the people that it does, but it does.
do you? Now, I go there a lot of times out of convenience.
Sure.
Excuse me, but their food isn't really that great.
No.
Their
it's
customer
not.
service really isn't that great.
They
Although I've never really had a customer service problem.
Right.
But they're not overly friendly. Come
Exactly,
on, I'm
yeah.
customer number 3,000 out of 9.
Right, exactly. No, I agree with the food statement, especially recently. It's been going downhill a little bit more. But the thing is, I still like is their hot dogs because they do they heat them up with a little bit of steam and it makes them a little bit softer. But other than that, man, Sheetz food sucks. Oh, did I mention, by the way, we have a new sponsor, Sheetz? No, I'm just kidding.
MTO.
That would be a shitty time to mention that. Later on, we'll talk about that. No, but I totally agree with the food thing. It's been really bothering me too. Rutter's, which is another local that's around here, has been trying to compete with them with their MTO type stuff. They have the whole, you walk in, you use the little screens or whatever, and you get your food. And yeah, it's like $7 for a freaking a cheesesteak sub, and the cheesesteak subs are like on a hot dog bun. It's fucking tiny.
Or it's like, did you just like get this out of vending machine you had in the back room and heat it up? Is that what you did?
Yeah, they manipulated it. That's why they disappeared for a minute. I was wondering what the shit they were doing with my stuff.
I'll be right back.
Here, is that butter? Yeah, yeah. So no, it's the food is quite bad at convenience stores. But I will say this: if you're in a rush and you need something quick, that's really kind of the only way to go. Now, where I'm at, there aren't too many Sheetz around. There's one in downtown Dillsburg, right on Route 15, but there's not a lot out if you go on the outskirts of Dillsburg.
You got 2 in Gettysburg, don't you?
Yeah, yes, 2 of them now. Yeah, there's one down on Route 97,
Okay.
and then one on 30.
And you have one in Littlestown, which you're not really near Littlestown.
No, yeah, I don't really go down that direction. So there's one in Hanover. Actually, there's 2 in Hanover now. There was one that they put, the one that we used to go to back in the 90s when it first showed up, and we were like, "Ooh, it's all neat and new. What is this?" But that was always been the staple. It's at the perfect place. As long as you're going out of town. If you're coming in town, it's like, fuck you. You're not coming in.
I'll give all the credit to Sheetz marketers. They're brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
They know where to build it. They know a lot of stuff. They know how to build it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Rudders might have stolen one of their people because they're starting to put up some stores in really great locations.
Well, Sheetz's dumbasses
wrote
a book.
Oh, really?
And it happened to land in my lap.
Oh.
And what it basically was how to build a convenience store empire.
Oh, nice.
So, and what they put in tips in, they didn't put in tips like, here, you do this and your business will be great. I think what they meant to do was, our business is great because, not knowing, they gave their secrets away.
There you go.
Like one of their secrets was their parking lots are all concrete.
Yeah.
Because concrete gives the impression of
cleanliness because it's more white.
So they'll pay for the concrete just to make it look cleaner, but it ain't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really not.
And the bright lights, they'll put a light anywhere, even up your butt if you want. MTO lights for your butt?
Bend over. We have to insert these for you.
But I read the book, and not only did it tell me some of their secrets, it also told me some of their geniuses. Like one time, well, let me back up a little bit, and we're getting way off track.
Yeah, we are. It's okay.
Let me back up. You've heard of cheese,
oh, yeah.
celebration of food.
Yeah, well, it's a celebration of fucking going out of business because they poisoned.
coli! Celebration of food poisoning.
Exactly.
Anyways, they got sued out of existence because of food poisoning.
Right, yeah, because they had a tomato situation happen. Yeah. It was all E. coli.
Same thing happened to Sheetz.
Really?
Same thing happened to Sheetz, except Sheetz against everybody in their PR department and everybody outside with the PR all told them, don't do this.
Right.
But Sheetz immediately went to the press and basically said, hey, we're sorry, but we fess up. This is what happened. Right. We're going to make this right. Yeah. Before it even hit the press.
Wow.
That made Sheetz look like
heroes.
Angels.
Yeah, like heroes.
Now, I know they don't mean that. Nobody means to poison their customers.
Exactly.
And Sheetz does do a relatively good job of keeping clean.
Yeah.
But everybody's going to have a food poisoning case here and there.
Eventually, yeah. If you serve food, it's bound to happen.
Yes.
Whether it's going to be E. coli from like fresh vegetables, or if it's salmonella poisoning from doing something, or ptomaine poisoning. It could be any of those things.
Or shigellosis from...
Yeah, shake a little, sis. Yeah. But no, yeah, you're right. Everybody's bound to have that happen. But if that's what they call in the marketing field, they call that getting in front of it.
Getting in front of it.
Yes. Whenever you have something that happens, let's say somebody comes along and says, well, we don't like Jeff and Dan because this situation, and we really like to fucking have them go, right off the edge of this cliff, and yeah, basically. And then, if they came after us and started suing us, if we got out in front of it and said, listen, I'm sorry, we did the wrong thing here, blah, 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 dude, our negative press just diminishes real quick, and all of a sudden we expound this huge amount of positive press.
It's the same philosophy as kids. I don't know if you ever pulled this one, but I did.
Yeah.
It's the same philosophy as when you're a kid. You know you're caught. You know your parents are going to find out.
Right.
You hustle your ass home and tell them first.
Right. Yeah. Well, and he just says, I stole a candy bar at Dart.
Mom, Dad, I really screwed up.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can tell you guys. I screwed up so bad. And what did you do? What did you do? I carried a can of chew to school. What did you do that for? And then my sister walks in. Mom, Dan carried snuff to school.
That always kills you. Right? It does. That's true. That's the way that works, man. If you're in front of it, then you can sort of lessen the blow. Yeah.
Let's get back here to road trips real quick.
Okay, road tripping.
What kind of snacks do you like to purvey?
Oh, I tend to eat a lot of tasty cakes.
Really? When you're on the road, you hit the tasty cakes?
Unless it's Hostess. And sometimes you get into areas where they don't have tasty cakes. It's really weird. It seems like all of a sudden it's like, What the fuck happened to all the tasty cakes? There's just nothing here.
Just all of a sudden got a tick dark.
Yeah, go down to Virginia, man. Go up north. Up north, they don't have them either.
See, I don't understand that. People love sugar all across the United States. A, why didn't Tasty Cake take their product nationally? B, why didn't somebody, instead of making, what did they call those generic cereals?
The white box?
Honey Puffs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or Cocoa Dots.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why didn't somebody make pasty cakes? Well, no, that don't sound good.
That sounds like they're all white. Hey, they're gonna be all white. All right. No, I don't know, dude. It's really strange. There are other places I've gone to, and almost nobody makes the pies that Tasty Cake makes.
No way.
Nobody makes those.
Another thing I hear about Pennsylvania, and I kind of find it hard to believe, though, but we are like iced tea gallon drinkers.
Oh yeah.
Other states in the United States don't sell iced tea in a gallon.
Exactly.
You're lucky to get iced tea in a pint.
Exactly.
Iced tea in a pint. That's something Mama should have made you before you left this morning, boy.
Yeah. That's right. Yes, Virginia is fucking known for that. Hardcore. You can go in there. Nobody has tea. They'll have it in little pints, or they'll have it in like Brisk or Nest tea or whatever. They have those. And that's pretty much all you get. And otherwise, it is that situation where they're like, well, your mom should have made that for you this morning. Like, what? No. I'm used to drinking gallon teas all the place. Now, don't get me wrong. Turkey Hill has really, really, really exploded for the most part. Their dairy department has exploded. You can get Turkey Hill iced tea and Turkey Hill, ice creams and stuff like that pretty much anywhere now. It's really wild.
Side note. If it wasn't for Turkey Hill's ice cream and iced teas, they'd be another Unimart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. And that's what's starting to get them hit a little bit more is the fact that like Wise Markets and Giant and places like that are starting to buy up their inventory, the dairy section, buy up their inventory and sell it on a low, real low cut, like 2 gallons of iced tea for $2. It's like, holy shit, So that's a positive there that might make the minute markets go out of business sometime soon. But, who knows? We'll see.
Well, I guess the way things are going, everything's going out of business. Which, by the way, have you heard Walmart and Google have teamed up to try to take down the Amazon giant? What's that big Amazon company's name? The big Amazon one. Huge.
Amazon.
Oh, yeah, Amazon.
Yeah.
I didn't read the article. I just read the headline.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping you picked up on something.
Yeah, I did. Basically, Amazon has purchased Whole Foods.
Yes.
And in the process of buying Whole Foods, what they've decided they're going to do is keep the Whole Foods open. But they're going to expand the size of the stores and create storage area for stuff, fresh pantry foods. Basically, you would be able to get like a head of cabbage if you wanted to the next day from Amazon, which is kind of wild. I mean, it's interesting. And Google and Walmart have decided that that's not going to be good enough. Now, it is not, as far as I know, it's not a joint operation. It's just both of them taking it on themselves to create these same opportunities like Amazon's been creating. Walmart has always been, and then always has been saying, we don't want to take a backseat to Amazon. We need to be just what they are, if not better. And for the most part, they've kept up. Really, you can go and buy pretty much anything at Walmart right now at the website, and then have it shipped to you. And it's just like Amazon for the most part. And there's a lot of times where Walmart has gotten involved with the people who are selling, the manufacturers or whatever, and have gotten the prices down really, really low. Because, Walmart's like the king of that.
Yeah.
Amazon is not. I'll tell you that right now. They do get good deals on a lot of stuff, but yeah, there's a lot of times where it's just not, prudent to do it.
I'm not an online shopper.
Right.
I also still believe the best shopping is going bricks and mortar. Yeah. Not because, well, you know what? There's plus and minuses. We're getting way off track.
That's great.
There's plus and minuses about online shopping and bricks and mortar shopping.
Sure. Online
shopping's great if you just want a chair.
Right.
If you just want a chair, you know what kind of chair you want.
Or similar, yes.
So right. Let's go to lazyboy.com.
Right. Or just go to Lazy Boy's Galleries or go to, Ashley Home Furniture or anything like that.
Now, you want a new bedroom suit, but you don't know what you want.
Right.
Well, you're not going to see near as many pieces scrolling online. I don't believe it.
Right. Yeah.
But you're going to see it live, real, the color, how big it is, how you look naked in front of that mirror. Well, that's what's gotten me thrown out of furniture stores.
I know, right? Here, let me get comfortable. Make yourself at home. Okay, well, let me get in my underwear.
You can call your girlfriend over, too.
I don't mean to be scratching my balls in front of all your customers and shit, but, I got to check this mattress for, love. Can it stand the love friction? We'll see. Come here, baby. I know you don't know me or a saleswoman, but, it's all good.
Saleswoman? That's the store dog.
Oh, baby. Ooh, all right. Giggity.
Well, man, that pretty much concludes my intro for the day.
Concludes your intro.
That pretty much is the Jeff and Dan Show intro. Why don't you break for a commercial?
All right, commercial coming right up. Sunday. Meet up at the Pennsylvania Convention Lodge and RV Parkatorio. Sunday. Come down for the largest gun show anywhere. Gun show Sunday. Say you've got a neighbor you don't like? Come get some guns. Sunday. That landlord pestering you for rent again? Come get a gun. Sunday. That mailman messing with your trailer while you're not home? Get some guns and ammo. Bring your wife. Bring your dog. Bring your guns. Say you got issues with a libtard? Come buy some guns. That D-bag moaning about your president? Give some lead advice. Love the white after Labor Day? Grab your guns. Grab your shotgun. Gun show Sunday. This weekend at the Pennsylvania Convention Lodge and RV Parkatorium. That's the Pennsylvania Convention Lodge and RV Parkatorium. September 2nd, amendment only. If you've got lead, they gonna be dead. September 2nd, amendment only.
Did we hire Beetlejuice to do that commercial?
We did.
Let's see what the Maitlands guns.
Yeah, guns.
What you got, man?
I love our guns. What do I have? Well, I have the game that we're going to play tonight, but before then, I want to talk to you about conundrums. Do you know what a conundrum is?
Well, it's like a tom-tom drum, but...
No, it's a conundrum.
It's a hard place to be in because you don't have any condoms. No, it's a conundrum is you have two or more choices. None of them fit.
Right.
They all have bad side effects.
You can't take advantage of them because if you do, something's going to be fucked up. It's basically what it turns out to be. Well, I started thinking about it today, and I actually wrote something on Facebook. And what I wrote was basically I'm sorry, I wrote it on Instagram, but it went over to Facebook, so my Facebook friends will be able to see it. But the thing is that there's this little produce area when you're driving in from York heading west. There's a little spot. It's a side of the road kind of thing. It's just a little teeny tiny shack, like not even a shack. It's just like almost like a picnic table, really, with a little umbrella above it. And on the front, it has the letters plastered on there, the kinds that you can stick individual letters that says free produce.
No way.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. It is so wild because this is a huge farm that is providing the stuff on this table. A conundrum is like this. I drive by that and I think to myself, I'd really like to stop by there and get some free produce. But then I start thinking to myself, you know what? That'd be rude for me to do that because I don't have a necessity. I don't have a necessary need to take this produce. And I want to make sure that whoever really does have a need for it, the people that drive by there and really are like, you know what, I don't have any money and I'm really starving, have a chance to pick it up. But here's the thing. If nobody picks up the produce from there, it will sit there and it will rot.
It will go bad, yes.
So nobody will be able to get it, right? That's my conundrum. My conundrum is I can't do the one thing, or I don't want to do the one thing, but it's like leaving it open for the rest of, where I should have taken it, basically, is what's coming down to. But it's like that fight, that inner fight as to whether or not. And I come to realize that there's a lot of that in life. A great example is the monuments. With all the monuments, the Civil War monuments for the South that are getting pulled down. Okay. You don't know about this?
Well, I do. I just I just want to hear.
You're wondering what the conundrum is. Okay. I'm a guy from the South. Okay. I believe in our history, and I know that the South was a bad thing for the most part. Not like, oh my God, it's super evil. Nothing like that. It's just, I know that the reasons why they were fighting may have been for the wrong reasons. And everybody's like, oh yeah, it's always slavery, it's always slavery. Technically, yes, but it's mostly for states' rights. The states wanted to say, hey, listen, we don't need the federal government telling us that we can't own slaves. So yes, it was about slaves, but it was more in the fundamentals of, states should have their own rights. And that's the reason why they seceded from the country, why they became their own country, the Confederate States of America. Anyhow, I come from the South. So I agree with the history, or I not agree necessarily, but I understand the history, and I realize that there's a lot of history behind this stuff. And a great example of that is Robert E. Lee, and he's the one that's gotten the most shit from all of this stuff, because it's a majority of Robert E. Lee statues they're trying to pull down. So my issue is, I understand why they exist. I understand why those statues are there. They're just a reminder in history, but not supposed to be something that's poking at us. It's basically like, oh, you're doing, this is an evil guy, that did all this shit. And there are people out there who see that as just that. And those are the ones that want to take down those monuments. They're like, hey, man, that guy was a slave owner. Well, technically, no, he wasn't a slave owner. He didn't believe in that. He paid his people a fair wage. But the people he went to fight for were slave owners, basically. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, he was corrupt, and he was part of the secession, and they had all the different charges of treason and traitorous actions, and it was just really, really hardcore. Everything that kind of went up against the guy. And those people, that's all they see. They see slavery. Whenever they see those statues, they see slavery. But I don't, But at the same time, I feel for what those people are feeling. Okay? It's not overpowering for me. It's probably not really overpowering for them either. They're just at a little teeny tiny place where they can be like, I want to tear the statue down now.
What are they feeling?
Well, they're pretty much feeling perturbed. Now I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Why?
There's a lot of black people that are involved with this who are very kind of perturbed because it's a bad mark on their history. Not for them, but their history. And that's what bothers me about it.
Actually not, but go on.
That's what kind of bothers me about it, is the fact that these people never had to deal with this kind of thing, although they still do get a bad rap now. Black folks are definitely picked on a little bit more than everybody else is. I see that, but that's where my conundrum comes in, because I am a Southern guy, and I do understand and realize the reasons why these statues are there and see the history behind it and so on and so forth. But I also see that it's a painful reminder to these people over here, and it should probably be taken down. So my feelings on this are, I don't know what to feel on this.
Well, first thing I have to say is these people that are feeling these negative vibes about this really don't even know what the truth is.
Oh, I know.
I'll bet they couldn't even name 10 states that were in the South.
They probably couldn't. You're right.
And they probably wouldn't even have an idea why the Civil War was fought. It was over slavery.
Right.
Well, no, not really, sir.
Yeah,
but okay, all right.
Yeah.
They also couldn't tell me where they come from. And they also probably couldn't tell me where the origin of the word slave comes from, which, by the way, the origin of the word slave comes from Slavic, which is a group of white ethnicities. I don't know, that's not the right word to use. Ethnics located close to Turkey.
Sure.
Which were some of the original slaves.
Slovenians. Yeah, they were the Czechoslovakia and areas like that.
The Balkans.
Yeah, the Balkan areas.
It's so they were like the first slaves. Maybe not necessarily the first slaves, but my point is they were slaves. Nobody even knew they were slaves. They used the word all the time. Hear that words, they don't even know. Second thing, a lot of people don't even know that if you want to talk about black slavery in America, a lot of people don't even realize that other tribes went to war and collected the POWs and sold them to the white people.
Right.
So your own people kind of gave you away, sort of.
Well, we can't group that all together, but I know exactly what you're saying. There were tribesmen who were in Africa when the slave traders went over, and basically said, "Okay, we want to take up some of your people. We're going to give you this amount of shells.
You have 15 POWs and one mother-in-law."
Right. She's a bitch. Get rid of her. You know. But that's the thing. Yeah, there were a lot of times where they went over there and they took these people, although it technically was still against their will. It was the fact that they were bringing these people over in hordes, and they eventually, became one of the biggest labor groups in the world, actually. But
Maybe so.
It goes even further back than that. Slavery goes back to way past Egypt and all that, too.
Oh, slavery goes way back to, what, year 2?
Yeah. Well, I think it's even earlier than that because the Romans had slaves. So it would have been earlier than that. It would have been back in the BCs. I think it's probably like 3,000, 4,000 BC when it was, hey, one man can own another man. Holy shit, I'm going to own that dude. Okay.
So my point is, all race ethnicities, all of them, from the Chinese to the Uganda blacks to the Sudan blacks to the Jews,
right, to
the Saudi Arabians, to I think maybe even Irish, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyways, we've all had all ethnicities have owned slaves and have been slaves.
Sure.
So, what are we all getting upset for about slavery? Didn't we end the damn slavery? Shouldn't, when you look at that, think of, oh man, we no longer have to be like that at all. We are free men now.
Right.
We are free.
Well, there still are those.
This country ended slavery.
To an extent, yes, but Britain actually started that first. They are the first ones that ended slavery. But here's the thing. There are folks out there who still believe they're owed reparations for what their ancestors went through.
Sure, what about mine?
Right. Well, see, that's the thing. And that's what bothers me most is the fact that I am not a person that likes to live in the past. I want to live in the future. I want to look forward, and I want to always be looking forward. I don't want to have to look back at the nasty shit that happened over the time periods where I don't even have memories of what was going on during that period of time. You know what I mean? I am in the now, and I'm in the future. Well, I want to be there.
Dude, let's just say you do want slave reparations. Okay, here's your reparation as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Your ancestors were made slaves. Which country did these ancestors come from?
Probably Africa.
Okay.
Most of them.
Here's your ticket back to Africa. What else do you want, man?
Right, but that's
what else do you want?
That's the thing is, yeah, I mean, there's always going to be little teeny tiny fights that are there for that. And I agree.
And I got one more, too.
Okay.
You
had it.
You made me forget it.
Oh, damn it.
No, I got one more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Slave reparations.
Yeah.
Fudge. It left. It's gone.
Maybe it'll come back. But the thing is like this. Okay. There's people that are fighting for those reparations. What do they want? What is enough to buy them out? You know what I mean? That's exactly what we have to do in order to appease these folks. And this is one of those things where I'm going back to you know what? This isn't fucking racist. This is a genuine question. What do we owe these people, and is it going to be enough?
Nothing.
The people that believe that and the thing is, and this is what's going to make it seem like it's racist, is the only people that are looking for this are blacks and Native Americans. Now, Native Americans have sort of been paid back their reparations by being given tribal land, which it just sucks. Because, dude, they really, really got the short end of the straw.
Yes, but it's not as bad as what you might think.
Well, now that they have casinos, it's like, But, no. And then there's the black folks. And the black folks really don't have any land. You know what they were promised in order to fight in the Civil War? 40 acres and a mule. That's what they were told they were going to get.
Who promised them?
The North.
Okay.
And for the most part, that did take place. The problem was, it's not everybody is going to abide by the fact that a black man owns land, and they're going to do everything they can to take it away from them. So what they tried to do was they tried to create the areas that they would be in either neutral zones or in places where they would be able to have that acreage next to each other. Right, so that way they wouldn't, there would be no infighting between. Sometimes they even put those people up against what were considered state lands or federal lands. Very much like any type of state park, which really wasn't a state park at that point. It was just land that the federal government owned or that the state owned. And they thought, well, they're never going to have neighbors there. And guess what? They still got robbed. And there's still people out there that think that because that happened, even after the Civil War, which they got a bad rep until the 70s, I'll say it. Until the Civil War, when it was done and they got their 40 acres and a mule and somebody came and took that property from them, or it got to the point where the federal government could not pay out the 40 acres and a mule anymore, which people did get screwed over for that.
Okay, we will take care of them.
Right.
But first, we have to take care of the Revolutionary War soldiers that were not paid.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there
all
was a lot of them.
200,000 of them.
There was probably even more than that. But, yeah, no, I mean, the thing is, and I don't even like to look at it. I don't want to even look at the past. I want to move towards the future. And the future is this. No matter what we decide, no matter what we do, even as a racist country or not racist country, there's still going to be certain types of divide between cultures. There's going to be culture clashes. I was driving down through York today. I was playing rap music as fucking loud as I possibly could, okay? And I was in like a very upscale neighborhood. Dude, you should have seen the fucking people staring at me as I drove by. Shit you not. And then some black dude on a bike looks over at me and just goes, yeah, like this. You know, he's like, yeah, sweet. Because I'm playing some hardcore shit. I was playing Ice Cube. Yeah, so it's like, you know, fuck this and fuck that. And,
Not the police!
Yeah. Yeah, one of his songs is "Shotgun Bullets is Bad for Your Health," and then another one of his lines is "Taking dicks up your ass is bad for your health," because he's talking about being in prison. He's talking about dudes going to prison. Yeah, it was it's an interesting experience, and there always will be that cultural divide. People look at somebody like me and be like, and I'm wearing a CBGB's shirt, which is a punk fucking show venue up in New York City, right? So I'm sitting there, rocking some fucking rap, you know, and everything was cool. But, yeah, it's always going to be the cultural divide. And there's going to be some people that are going to be like, well, you shouldn't be like that. And there's going to be other people that are going to be like, well, maybe you should be like that, and you should be like that more. I think what we need to do is be able to find a comfortable medium. That's what I think we should be able to find.
You go home and have your culture, I'll go home and have my culture. When we're at work, maybe we could at least be civil and respectful towards each other.
Let me ask you something. How many black people have you ever met in your life?
A few.
Just a few? Well, that's problematic in this regard.
Well, I've really spent most of my time around white people, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
I did spend an entire 3 weeks around a lot of blacks.
Okay.
Did
it get bad? Was there anything bad about it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
When I was walking down the street, the one black girl, I don't even know what she looked like, she just goes, "White bread," you know, just kind of like telling all her little other black birdies,
"Porch monkey." You know, yeah,
that's what I said and ran. and another time, some black guy thought I was busting into somewhere, and he started yelling at me until he found out that, you know, I was where I was supposed to be.
Right, you were there. Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's,
you know, I'm probably sitting here sounding like a racist, and I'm not.
Yeah, sure you are. We all are. Everybody is. Doesn't matter.
It's the best man for the job. That's the way I really totally believe.
Right.
And that's the way I practice.
Right. But then there's those people who are always going to say, well, that person can't get a fair shake then because that person could never do that job quite the way this other white person could.
Baloney. You have been given disadvantages that are totally different and unique from my disadvantages.
Sure.
Your job is to get over your disadvantages and make yourself a nice sandwich.
Right. Well, there's always been, and always will be, I believe, a dichotomy to the whole thing. I think what the problem really comes down to is this. We have always put down, if we've been white since the 1950s, we have always put down the black person as being lesser than the white person. I don't honestly believe there's anything like white privilege, because I'll explain the reason why. Because I work for everything that I get. I go to college. I try to do as best I can. Dude, I'm poor as fuck right now. But I'm still going back to college and I'm getting my education.
There you go, dude.
That's the main thing, though, is they need to realize, these other cultures need to realize that this is a possibility for them and stop fucking off.
You know what I think black people should do?
What's that?
Go to an international airport and adopt an incoming foreigner. The beautiful thing about foreigners is they see how good and we got it, and they see all the opportunities that we have.
Right.
So
They will work their fingers to the bone to get ahead at all in this world.
Oh, they work 7 days. Like the foreigners I work with, they work 7 days a week, 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
I am not willing to do that.
No,
but they
not
are.
anymore.
Now, however...
You're not required to, though, either.
Right. But, however, in their instance, like my boss told me, these foreigners spend half their lives doing nothing because there is no jobs.
Right.
So now they got something to do. Now they're making minimum wage here in America, which turns out to be $1 million an hour in other countries.
Right.
So what they're doing is stockpiling money. They go home with $20,000. They might as well have $1 million.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
So, that way I can understand working 7 hours or
10 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not willing to do that.
Right. Well, that's the thing. You don't have to. That's the great part about it. You get to make that choice, that decision as to where you're going to have to cut off and when you're not going to have to cut off. Like right now, we're in a very desperate financial situation in my house. I mean, not desperate, but we're to the point now where we're kind of like, okay, where can I find $1? You know what I mean? No, the tip jar is still up there. I will never touch that. It doesn't matter what I need. The thing is, though, there are times where we struggle, where we have a lot of struggles. And it's just very much the same with every other culture. They have their struggles too, but it's how you take the struggle. What do you do when you're in the struggle?
Right.
Do you continue working and trying to be a law-abiding citizen and keep yourself out of trouble? You know how I keep myself out of trouble? I stay the fuck off the streets. That's how I keep out of trouble. I stay at my house and I do shit on my own at my house. I fix up my house. I fix up the outside of my house. I do whatever. But I stay at home. I don't go out looking for trouble.
Oh, I do. It's just at nighttime now.
Right.
No. Dude, are you to the point in your life where we're going to be aging ourselves? But are you to the point now where it could be Saturday night or Friday night, 9 o'clock, you and your wife are going to bed, and you don't care that you're not out partying and socializing?
Yep. I am there.
Yeah, so am I.
And it's funny because we're not that old yet. You know what I mean? It's just... There's been what I like to classify it as a social collapse. It really is. There's a social collapse. There are people, as we speak, many, many people, and there's probably people that are listening to the show that are going to be able to identify with this very, very quickly. There are many people that do not or would not want to go out and socialize with other people. They would much rather just stay at home. And they're not introverts. Me, I am not an introvert. I'm an extrovert. I like to go outside and make fun, and do some things, talk to people. I'll meet new people, blah, blah, blah. But I would much rather sit at home and watch TV or work on the computer or make stuff for the show or whatever. You see what I'm saying? I would much rather work on that. Because lately, I have gotten this thing in my head where I'm just like, I've got to be doing something to make myself advance, to get further. I want the show to get further. I want people to see us. I want people to hear us. And that's really kind of filled up a lot of my void. There are many, many people out there who would rather go home and binge watch the whole Game of Thrones season 7 or watch, Netflix for hours on end. As a matter of fact, it became a huge thing there for a while, Netflix and chill, which was a whole, new millennial thing where they go home, chill out, and watch some Netflix. But yeah, it's really the social collapse has started happening, and I cannot identify for the life of me why it's starting to be this way. Great example. My significant other does not like to make phone calls.
Really?
Yes. She will ask me to do it. Now, I feel obligated because I don't have a job at the moment, so it's easier for me to do it, and people, you tend to like me when I talk to them on the phone. So.
Is it like a phone call like, hi, I'm inquiring about such and such?
Yeah.
Anything. Or is it...
Anything.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. It could be anything. She's like, hey, yeah, call my dad and let him know this. I'm like, no, you fucking call your dad. It's your dad.
I'm the same way. I get my Christy to...
make those calls?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. This is what I mean by the social collapse. It's
sometimes
just
she pushes them back on me.
Right.
Well, how's that social collapse?
Because you're not socializing anymore. Now you're just doing things all electronically. Whether it's the telephone, whether it's the internet.
I'm different.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. When's the last time you actually went out and went partying? Like literally to somebody's house or some place to go to a party. It's been a little while. I know for me it's been a little while. What decade? See, that's what I mean. It's a social collapse. Can you find yourself... You're still thinking. Can you find yourself saying, you know what, I would go out tomorrow in a heartbeat and meet up with some new people that I just met on the internet? I can't do that. I won't do that anymore.
I won't do that either.
Right. And it's not a fear thing. It's not like, oh my God thing. It's I have so much shit going on in my life right now. I don't want to fuck around with this other shit. Well,
yes.
I don't want to be a privy to these other people's fucking problems.
That's some of it too.
Yeah.
But I think my problem with my social collapse, if you will, I work with people all day.
Sure.
I'm tired of their shit.
Right.
I'm tired of fake smiling.
Right.
I'm tired of laughing at the same damn joke. Oh, you just made that. Ha, ha, ha. That's so original. Where did you get that? That's so funny.
But you had Eclipse jokes all fucking week.
Well, I had like 1,000 people. Did you get your glasses yet?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lens crafters. They're done in about an hour.
Exactly. But that was the thing. Yeah, that's also, I understand that and I do see that. But at the same time, that can be your social, collapse. But at the same time, I think even if you would have gone and worked in like a back room of someplace and never seen another person again, it would still be problematic for you, dude, because it's happening to everybody.
Well,
all of us are doing it.
Yes. Again, I think I'm different. Because
you think, but you admitted that you weren't a minute ago. When you said, "Do you ever go home on Saturday or Friday night and at 9 o'clock and you just want to go to bed and not, that's a social collapse situation. That's something that goes right in with that."
Well, I just think I'm just operating the same as if I would if there was a social collapse. Meaning,
it's similarities, but not exactly the same thing.
Well, I need people in my life, but I don't like to think I do, and I always I think maybe I'm borderline loner.
Okay.
And I can see myself when I need to be alone. I go take my alone time, but sooner or later I need people to interact with.
Right.
Sooner or later. So eventually I come out of that shell.
Sure.
But eventually I'm going right back in it.
Yeah.
And I think that's been my MO my whole life.
See, that's a different story then. And that is a more of an introverted situation with the ability to do extroverted things. You could just take that time out and be like, okay, now I got to go out and do something because, man, this is fucked up sitting here looking at a computer for 27 hours a day. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, So you go out and you do some shit and you interact with people and you giggle at fucking cashiers and you do all kinds of nifty shit. And then you realize, hey, man, I've got time to go back in my shell. And you do. Dude, then now what that means is you've had that social collapse pretty much all your life. And there's nothing bad. And there's nothing bad with what's happening with us. I mean, with me and pretty much everybody else I know. There's nothing wrong with the social collapse. It's just making a strenuous issue of not being able to create friends properly. You can't go out and create new friends. How many friends, okay, not counting family members, how many friends do you and your wife have? Both of you, not just one of you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 people or 5 couples?
People.
Okay.
Maybe 6 people. Not really. 3 couples, maybe.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. It's very limited. And you know as well as I do, way back in our 20s, if we would have gotten married at that point, which in your case you did, you know that tends to go downhill. It always does. Whenever you have a marriage relationship going on, you don't tend to spend as much quality time with your friends. Shit happens. That's just the way it is. And those people got to realize it, and they usually do. I understood your situation, and I was willing. I was cool with it.
Yeah, well.
I know. But, I'm not worried about it. Anyway, the thing is that we have always had that, downward stroke, I guess, if you will, instead of having an upward stroke. Choke that chicken the wrong way. No, but we've always had that way of being able to sort of lose friends, I guess, if you will. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but you lose a lot of friends by going and getting married and becoming more serious with the significant other, even if you're not married, which is kind of what happened with Christy and I. So that's a natural. But your ability to go out and create new friends should be still, on par, should be on peak. And mine is not. I cannot do it. As a matter of fact, I will give you a great example of this. My wife and I were visiting my youngest son I think we might have talked about this for a little bit. Yeah, we did, because I mentioned about the fact that she says marijuana is a good thing. Anyway, this mother of one of my son's, friends, one of his good friends, came over and started up a conversation, and, we got to talking and blah, blah, blah. And I got to meet her husband. And so with two couples standing there and everything's good, And we're like, it seems to me like there's some stuff that we both, have a liking or a hanking for, or, we're kind of just very similar in that regard. And we're still not friends.
You're still what?
We're still not friends.
Okay.
We are but more acquaintances than it is really friends. My wife is texting the woman saying, hey, does your boy need a ride to soccer practice? Stuff like that. But it's never the, hey, man, let's go out to Dave and Buster's and have a great time. Or, hey, man, let's fuck each other's wives. Or, you know what I mean? Nothing like that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, well, what do you do? And that's what I'm telling you, man. This social, it used to be if I met somebody, another couple, another woman, another man, I would instantly be able to have a good, distinct knowledge of who this person was, because you can read people. I still can read people, but it's not as good as it used to be, and that's problematic.
I challenge that. I think maybe you're better than what you used to be. In fact, I think maybe some of it might be this, if you will. Try this on for size.
Okay. Read. Oh, it doesn't fit. Sorry.
Oh, shit. When you were 20, when we were all 20, we all thought we knew everything.
Sure.
And we acted like it.
Yeah.
And we met new people, and we, proceeded on with relationships with them.
Right.
Fast forward 25 years, we've done that. Rinse and repeat repetitively.
Right.
Now, subconsciously, maybe we know, okay, there are maybe 10 personality types. I've seen this type I don't know how many times, and I don't like it.
Right.
I never get along.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I agree that's probably more true than I led on to believe earlier. I think, you might be right on that regard. But my problem is the fact, what I'm trying to get at sort of is saying that I'm not in practice. I'm not going out there and trying to find friends and determine who this person is. And if that's the case, maybe I'm diminished a little bit from what I used to be. I still think I can read people just fine, but...
Does that bother you?
No, not really. Because that's what I'm saying with the social collapse. It's just like, I don't even have to worry about that being a situation. There's just people, and I'm probably never going to deal with them again.
With your youth slowly leaving your body.
Slowly, shit. Took a fucking Harley out of town and a pack of cigarettes and fucking got lost.
Do you miss it?
My vitality? Yes.
I miss my youth. I think I pissed mine away.
Yeah.
But
you and me both. And do you ever look back and sort of think to yourself, man, maybe I shouldn't have run my head into the wall a couple of times that one year. You know what I mean? Maybe I shouldn't have done these little things.
Oh, well, my life is a seesaw, man. Peaks and valleys all the time. Nothing ever even kill.
Right.
I'm either in a peak or I'm in a valley. And some of my years, it was in a valley with dark times. Some of that was in Hanover. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, until you got out of it.
Until I got out of it.
Right.
And some of it, I peaks and valleys all through my life.
Sure.
Never any even keel. I mean, I think that's what my parents probably tried to give me, was even keelness, steady.
Right. Level-headedness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I don't. Well,
No.
I eventually learned it.
You can't stay level-headed when your head's fucking 200 miles up in the air. Hi, much? Like a kite. All right. No, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and I think that's what all parents try to do. I think we try to make our kids, we see where they're at. We understand where they're at because a lot of the stuff they're doing that we already did. And what we try to do is bring them to a level where they're going to be competent and confident, but at the same time be able to, have fun, do those little things, where they can consider themselves fun. Like, I spray painted this wall in the back of this garage, you know what I mean? That kind of shit, Yeah, that's bad. Don't go out and do that kind of stuff. But, that's, you know what I mean? It's like those things. And I do honestly believe that our kids, and pretty much anybody that's around us that's younger than us, for the most part, you kind of try to mold them in a way that, yeah, maybe you should consider doing this instead. You know what I mean? So they can level them out too.
My parents tried telling me, but I don't know about you, but I never really learned until I went through the washer.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Learn by your mistakes.
I remember now my pap saying, don't spend your money before you get it. I remember also thinking, well, you idiot, how are you going to do that?
Right.
Of course not.
And then you're looking through a catalog going, oh, damn, I'm buying this the next paycheck.
And now I know exactly what he means.
Right, exactly.
Exactly what he means.
Yeah.
But, well, hey, you know what? I think we've teased our audience long enough.
Teased.
Na, you are ugly.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Yeah. All two of you.
But maybe we should go and do the promised top 8 misquoted movie lines.
Yes, okay, here we go. And now, it's time for Music for Misquotes. Misquoted Movies.
Suck my balls.
Okay.
Suck my balls.
You suck my balls.
Okay. All right. This is the top 8 misquoted movies of all time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, you just want me to say these things here?
And is not the ones that are on there. Yeah, the one that you want. Yeah, the sheet I sent you. Yes.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
You want me to like get into character and all that?
Sure, if you want to.
Well, I didn't see this movie, but
Okay, that's cool.
play it again, Sam.
There you go. Yeah, did a pretty good bogey there.
All right.
Play
all
it
right.
again, Sam.
Play it
Actually,
again, Sam.
there was a lot of people that said that that Humphrey Bogart did those lines, but he's not the one that did it. It
What?
was the woman that did it.
Oh yeah.
And she was Ingrid Bergman, and she was very, very not English.
What movie was it?
It was the movie Casablanca.
Oh,
Yes,
Casablanca.
Casablanca.
And what did she actually say?
She actually said,
Play it, Sam. Play as time goes by.
that's what she said. She said, play it, Sam. Play as time goes by.
Play it, Sam. Play as time goes by.
Play it again, Sam.
Yeah. Now I took out. I should say I freely took out the middle section of that quote. She said, "Play it again, Sam," and he's like, he goes, the piano player Sam is basically this black gentleman, and he says, "I don't know if I remember, madam, or whatever," and she's like, "Play it again, Sam." The one, and then she named the name of the song. Play it again, Sam. I don't know what the hell the name of the song was. She just said it, so listen.
Play it, Sam. Play as time goes by.
Play as time goes by.
Play it again, Sam.
Yeah, play it again, Sam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, how about this cool movie?
Okay, this is a good one.
Hello, Clarice. Wait. Hello, Clarice. Wait,
Yes.
How do you say your name?
Clarice.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Hello, Clarice.
Hello, clitoris.
How are you today?
That was always a big thing back in the 80s when this first came out. Everybody was saying that, hello, Clarice. They were all being all weird and shit. Like I just went to Stewie doing it. Hello, Clarice. Very strange. Cool. But yeah, that was the thing. A lot of people said that. And never in the movie does he say,
What movie is it from?
hello, Clarice. It is from Silence of the Lambs.
Well, what did he say?
He said,
Good evening, Clarice.
good evening, Clarice.
At what point did he say this?
He says this when he's been moved from the jail cell that has the plexiglass front to a storage facility that has bars in it. They have basically him in a cage. And she showed up to try and find this Buffalo Tom, or whatever the fuck his name is, character. She's brought some stuff for him to read or look over. And that's as she's walking up, he isn't even looking at her, and he goes, good evening, Clarice. He goes,
Good evening, Clarice.
yes. So, Anthony Hopkins is a national treasure, even though he's not from the United States.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
Well, how about this national treasure?
Okay.
Do you feel lucky, punk?
There was a lot of times where people said that was the line, and they came right out of the movie theaters and were like, do you feel lucky, punk?
What movie was it?
It was not even, it was Dirty Harry.
Well, go ahead, punk. Knock it off.
Yeah. And this is what he really said.
You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Yeah, you got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Do you feel lucky, punk?
Yes.
See, there's that laziness that people just have to
They
shorten shit.
measure, yeah, they just mesh it together. But see, dude, that was back in the 70s and 80s. So that was quite a while ago, and you would think, wow, they were lazy enough to not get it right then. Just like our number 6 which is, another one that's really, really huge. And number 5 was the one that I touted, but we'll get to that one here in a minute. But yeah, let's go with number 4.
Oh, this cool one. You remember this one?
Yes.
If you build it, they will come.
Yes. If you build it, they will come all over the bleachers and the ballpark.
I was going to get a little bit... Never mind.
You're going to get a little bit nasty.
If you build it, they will come.
Okay. There is actually a scene in the movie where he says to his wife, she says, well, what did he say? And he said, if you build it, he will come, or they will come. And she goes, well, that sounds pretty, like she's looking at it like a sexual thing too, like it's an innuendo. She's like, oh, that's pretty weird to an extent.
Weird.
I'm just paraphrasing. Yeah. Here is the actual phrasing of that, and it's very similar, but there's only one word that's really changed, and here it is.
If you build it, he will come.
Okay, it's not if you build it, they will come. It's if you build it, he will come.
Who is he?
He is an old professional baseball player. Apparently, I believe, I never saw the movie. Believe it or not, I never saw Field of Dreams.
Don't waste your money.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna download it, man. No, yeah, don't waste the money. But no, yeah, he's talking. I believe he's talking about his dad.
Ah, okay.
His dad is an old baseball player, and then he grew up to be a farmer, so he farmed. And then in the middle of his farm field, he built a ball field.
This had nothing to do with ghosts, did it?
Yes, it did.
Oh, it did have something to do with ghosts.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I believe, if I'm looking at all my information correctly, his dad came back in the visage as a ghost.
Oh, okay. Now it's coming together.
Right.
Hold on.
Okay.
If you build it, they will come. They're here. Wow, that was fast.
And then he starts pulling his face apart. Yes. Okay, so here's the one we touted as number 5, the one you will never believe. Oh, my God.
Oh, everybody knows this one.
Yes.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
Okay. Now, to be said, there are several other off-brand, not Disney Snow Whites, because it is originally like a Grimm's fairy tale or something to that effect. It was a fairy tale that's been built for a long, long time.
Is it public? Is it?
I believe so, yeah. It might be like a Hans Christian Andersen or something like that. Anyhow, initially, some of the writings do have it being said that way. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Okay? But when we're talking about this movie, we're always talking about Disney, because Disney is like the purveyor of great commercial successes when it comes to any type of old nursery rhyme or any of that stuff. So here's what is actually said.
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
Who is the fairest?
Yeah.
It's a big change. So it's not mirror, mirror on the wall. It's magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest?
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
One of all, yes. So see, it's a big difference from what we thought. But it was okay because, it was close enough, I guess. And people sort of lived through it and just said, yeah, it's close enough.
Close enough.
Which leads
Give
me
them
to
a
this
participation ribbon.
next one. Which leads me to this next one, which I have a little extra stuff for. It's number 6.
This is the coolest one.
Yes, sir.
This is the coolest movie line of all time.
Yes.
Luke, I am your father.
That's right. It is Star Wars. But it was never said. And we...
Yes, he did. I heard him. I saw it for myself.
Since
right where he cut his hand off.
Yeah.
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah,
I'll cut your other fucking hand off.
Since 1981, we've been getting that shit wrong. Here is actually what he says.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
No, I am your father. Yeah. Not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
Not at all. Not even really close. Now, it's interesting because this is one of those movies, or movie franchises, I should say, where there are a lot of misquoted lines. One of the big ones was, Luke, may the Force be with you. He never says that. Not ever. He says, if I can remember what it is. It's something different.
He says, remember, the Force will always be with you.
There it is. Yeah, that's it. You got it.
And Darth Vader is the one who knows. And somebody else did say, may the Force be with you. Han Solo said it.
Yes, he did
Luke?
at one point.
May the Force be with you, kid.
Yes. You too, you old scoundrel. Anyway, but yes, the Star Wars has quite a few lines that are misquoted throughout history, and that's the really,
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Yes.
Oh,
Here's
come
one.
on. I can't believe you did that one.
Yes, and here's the...
Do the other one.
Here's the one. Okay, here's the one... this is the one that everybody usually gets wrong.
They must be trying to return
These nuts.
to the princess.
Yes, everybody always gets that one wrong.
They must be trying to return
These nuts.
to the princess.
Yes. All right, and here's another one they always get wrong.
Good. See to it that he finds
These nuts.
the Emperor will show you.
These nuts.
This will be a day long remembered. It has seen the end of Kenobi and will soon see the end of
These nuts.
your destiny lies with
These nuts.
he will join us or die, Master.
Yes. So anyway, yes, that was our fun-loving Star Wars piece. We will move on to number 7 now. This is another good one that everybody always gets.
Oh, this is the greatest line ever.
Yes.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
That's right. Unfortunately, though, what happens is Rob Scheider is on this boat with Captain Hopper, or Hooper. I think it's Hooper. And he's feeding Chum, and he's really pissed off that he's feeding Chum to the water to try and attract the shark. And the boat's just sort of floating there in the middle of the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. And he's piping out shit, and he's like, yeah, you want to come down here and chum some of this shit out? And then all of a sudden, the shark comes up out of the water and tries to grab him. Doesn't get him, but he stands straight up. And it's always that really, really wild thing where you see his cigarette just sort of drop down. It just goes down like this, and he's like, and then he turns around, and he was walking very quickly into the thing. And everybody has always thought it was, we're going to need a bigger boat. But it's actually,
you're going to need a bigger boat.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
And he's being like, you're going to need a bigger boat.
I'm out of here later.
Yeah. A 9,000-pound fucking shark. Of course, yeah, everybody's kind of a little bit miffy about that. But anywho. All right, so that was Jaws. One of my favorite movies from the 70s that was actually worth a damn. Anyway, let's do number 8. This is a big one. A big one.
This one here. This is classic right here.
Yeah.
And this is how you really say it.
Sure.
Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. Oh, no, wait. I think she says something like, no, wait. Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz.
That's right, but the actual line is a little bit different. And there's a little discrepancy as to whether as to whether or not the word I've or I have. And I believe I'm going with I've for this one, but here it is.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
I've heard I've.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I thought I did. But I wrote it differently. But yeah, that's okay, because the same thing. I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. I've a feeling. Which is weird for her to say it that way, but, you know.
That one is like nowhere near.
Right. Yeah. It's a, yeah.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Yes. That beautiful Judy Garland.
Oh, she was a looker.
Yeah.
She was a beautiful girl. Dorothy was very beautiful.
Yeah. I always wanted to do a remake, like a whole Quentin Tarantino-esque version of The Wizard of Oz, where you open up on the scene where Dorothy's lying on the ground, her head's been ripped open and her chest has been ripped open, and the cowardly lion is standing there going, well, I wonder where I get my courage from.
Tin Man comes over and says, I don't know, Lion, but I just found my heart.
That's right, yeah. He's got the heart. He's holding the heart in his hand. And, yeah, Scarecrow's over there with the brain in his hand, you know. So, yeah, it's all good. So, anywho, yeah. But, okay. And I have an extra one. An extra one that I did not put on there. A boner one. Now, here's the thing, okay. There are some places on the internet that said, what this person says in the movie is incorrect to what is supposed to be. But in actuality, it's not what he says is different. It's what the original says is different. Now, the movie is Apollo 13. It's one of the greatest Tom Hanks movies ever. And one of the things that people were trying to say was that he said in the movie, Houston, we've had a problem. But that's not true. In the movie, he does say, Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we have a problem.
Okay, so he does say that in the movie, not only in the trailer, but the actual movie. I pulled both up. And he says,
Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we have a problem. Now, the interesting thing here is where the people said, oh, that was said incorrectly, it's supposed to be Houston, we've had a problem, is the original Apollo 13 mission, which I was able to capture. So let's take a listen.
Houston, we've had a problem.
Houston, we've had a problem.
Houston, we've had a problem.
See?
I heard something different.
Really? What'd you hear?
Houston, we've had a child.
Oh!
Houston, we've had a problem.
I thought he said we had a bong, but I don't know.
Houston, we've had a problem.
All of a sudden he becomes freaking Darth Vader and shit. It's like, great weed, man. Great weed, dude.
Come with me.
All right, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's that kind of game. So anyway, that is it. That is all for our music, for all of our Misquotes movies. Misquotes, there we go. Yes. That's been our movie Misquotes for the Jeff and Dan Show.
Suck my balls.
All right, and here we go. We're going to have a little fun with this real quick.
You'd fuck your uncle. You'd fuck your uncle. Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. You're a cocksucking ass licking Uncle Fucker. You're an Uncle Fucker. Yes, it's true. Nobody fucks uncles quite like you. Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. You're the one that fucked your uncle, Uncle Fucker. You don't eat or sleep or mow the lawn. You just fuck your uncle all day long.
What's going on there?
What garbage?
Well, what do you expect? They're Canadian.
Uncle Fucker, Uncle Fucker, Uncle Fucker, Uncle Fucker. Put your fucking face, Uncle Fucker.
You're an Uncle Fucker, I must say. You fucked your uncle yesterday. Uncle Fucker.
That's U-N-C-L-E. Fuck you, Uncle Fucker.
Suck my balls.
Now you know where that ending came from. Very good, man. That was very cool. Yes, that was South Park, of course. Bigger.
Tune in next week, though, when we go over your choice.
Your choice.
We'll let you know later, but it could be one of these three.
Ooh.
Will it be the top 3 women's most popular sexual fantasies?
Ooh. Yeah.
Or the top 5 things retailers do to secretly push sales on you,
Ooh.
and you're going to be hell-raising mad at number 3.
Oh, that sucks.
Or will it be the top 7 most common dream themes?
Top 7 most common dream themes.
Right.
Okay.
What are the most common dreams that revolve around one certain thing?
Right. Like a topic. Yeah, it's topical.
So it will be one of those 3 next week.
Very cool.
So you're going to have to design some new theme music.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Yeah. Uncle Fucker!
Yes, so what are we doing? Are we letting the audience choose, or am I choosing? Who's choosing?
I don't know. Well,
Let's let the audience
I think
choose.
everybody's going to choose.
Sure.
Women's sexual fantasies.
Yeah, sure.
Because, we're all sex freaks.
Yeah, exactly. Even women.
More than you think.
Yeah.
More than you think.
Yeah, I definitely think that's true.
Especially nowadays.
Hells yes.
So
Chicks are majorly into it.
Yeah.
Except for those millennials, they don't really get into it much.
Well,
who knows? We're going to end up with a death birth situation here coming over. We're going to have more dead people than we are birthing people. True. Dude, the baby boomers are all getting old. They're going to end up dying. That's like one of the biggest generations.
Tell them to start having more kids. They have eggs left?
Baby boomer. Nope, I think they went stale a little while ago. I don't have any more in my carton. Let me try and get more out. It's not happening. All right, man, are you ready to rock and roll?
I am ready to rock and roll.
All right, if everybody wants to you can visit our website, jeffanddan.com. And you can, just drop us a line one way or another. Find us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, and drop us a line. Let us know if you'd like to hear one of those different things. We have 3 different things that our buddy Dan has come up with. So.
And they are top female sexual fantasies.
Yes, top 3, yes.
Top 5 retailer secrets.
And
number 3 is going to make you hell-raising mad.
You're going to be angry.
I'm really trying to promote that.
I know, right? Yes.
And the other one is the top 7 most popular dreams.
Yes, the top 7 most popular dream themes.
So vote now and vote often at jeffanddan.com/vote.
There you go. I will actually put something up there, maybe. We'll see. If I can get us a little voting thing up there, that'd be kind of cool. All 2 people voted. And that was Jeff and Dan.
It was unanimous.
I guess we're starting to go. Very good. Okay, so here we go. Hang on, that's not the right one. We're at this one. There we go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our road trip has come to an end. We found the end of the road, and it is right here. But do not worry. Do not fret. Even though it's time to go, we will be back next week, Wednesday, 7 o'clock, jeffanddan.com. And thank you very, very much. We appreciate you, audience, so much that, well, we think about you. No, we don't. No, seriously, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we sort of love you.
Yes. We haven't quite gotten on that level yet, but we will.
Have a good night and a great week.